Hi, I'm Dustin Lanier. I'm the founder and principal consultant for Civic Initiatives. We work around the country for public procurement shops, and we do it with full-time certified procurement people. So we're at GFOA, the Government Finance Officers Association. I'm speaking on a panel this afternoon on the good, bad, and the ugly of cooperative contracting. I've had the opportunity to speak at GFOA 3 different times. It's something I've always enjoyed. And the common theme around all those conversations is around how procurement is a strategic asset and how to make it act that way. One of the first times I really spoke about it that way was at a speaking thing I was doing for GFOA, where I was asked, what do I do if I don't have a procurement department? So then in front of 600 people extemporaneously, I have to talk about why I believe that you should. So to me, procurement is the focal point between finance, business, and legal on the act of putting our public dollars to work and doing it in a way that is professionalized, drives good outcomes, makes government be a modern business partner and a business partner of choice so that we actually receive the competition and that we can put to work vendors in a way that meets the expectations of our citizens and fulfills our role as public stewards. I often talk about the difference between purchasing and procurement. So purchasing for a lot of folks tends to be seen as a clerking function. It's something that is going to receive requests at the last minute, already baked by the business, go through a small set of steps to source it and to pass it back to the business. And you can be successful with that. And you might not even necessarily need a person to do that if you're somebody who knows how to build those systems creates it for you. But procurement is a much broader set of things that comes around the function of purchasing. There's always expectations that leaders have on where's our money going? Are we getting good outcomes for these? Are we spending the right amount of time on work so that we are getting the outcomes across all the things that we have? The topic I'm speaking out this afternoon, cooperative contracts, a fantastic way to go quickly, but we still need to follow the same processes and principles that we would expect for procurement to be able to use those and get good outcomes from them. How do we then go to market in a way where we are thoughtful about how we're going to manage this in the contract management phase? Because if we don't do a good job in the sourcing, then we don't have anything to manage in the contract phase. And then finally, completing that loop, where does contract management live? I would argue it's a business function. Ultimately, it's a legal function if it fails, but we don't enter into contracts to fail. We enter into contracts to be successful with those outcomes. And so being able to create that arc between the statement of a need, the act of defining it, the act of going to market, and then having vendors who are inherently aligned with our purpose that we can manage to outcomes. That's the goal of a strategic procurement function. And it really exceeds just the act of purchasing. And so for the CFOs at this particular conference, really thinking about procurement as a truly professionalized activity, that the expectations that we have of it need to be met by people who are treated as professionals. So we serve public procurement shops in that way all day long in every time zone in the country, and it's very fulfilling. I personally came out of both being a deputy CIO for the state of Texas, and then I ran a specialized procurement group. I came to procurement later in my career, but I came to realize that if you like changing governments, you need to love procurement because you never have more opportunity to change than when you have money in one hand and requirements in the other. Because if you sat and looked at where the budgets go, you take out people, you take out buildings and depreciation and intergovernmental transfers, the vast, vast, vast majority of the rest of the policy initiatives that every entity has ends up going through sourcing and contracting. So building skills and building awareness and building respect for the function is key. So with that, I hope that I gave you a few things that maybe were useful, and I appreciate being invited to come and speak.
Hi, it's Dustin Lanier. Thanks for listening. Please find me on LinkedIn for original public sector operations content every week. And please reach out to me if I and my team of procurement professionals at Civic Initiatives can help you be a public procurement change agent.